Hello and welcome to Talk to the Fish, where we make waves in diving education. Now let's plunge into our viewer question. Seize the Day asks, for my surface marker buoy, should I use a spool or reel? A question that's kept countless divers awake at night right after, did I really need that expensive computer?
It's actually a critical safety question that deserves our full attention. I'd be happy to break down the options, starting with spools.
Spools first, the device that makes unwinding underwater look easy. Go ahead and enlighten us.
Spools offer four main advantages. First, simplicity, compactness, and affordability. They are essentially a circular frame with a handle and wound line, much smaller than reels.
A budget-friendly option that won't weigh down your gear bag. They remind me of a yo-yo, fun-sized and ready for action. Please continue, our toothy professor.
Second is of deployment. With spools, you simply unroll the line as needed without complicated mechanisms.
So when that boat appears overhead and you need to signal fast, there's no fumbling with gadgets. It functions similarly to a measuring tape. Just pull and go. What about handling the line, Regis?
That's the third point. Line management requires more manual dexterity. You need to wind the line back onto the spool yourself.
Which means your underwater coordination gets a workout.
It's comparable to coiling a garden hose by hand, requiring some finesse to avoid creating an underwater knitting project.
When would divers choose this option?
That brings me to my fourth point, suitable environment. Spools excel in calm waters where you need quick, efficient deployment. They're ideal for shallow dives, simple drift dives, and situations not requiring excessive line.
So they're perfect for those easy breezy diving days, similar to using a basic string for flying a kite when there's just a gentle breeze. It handles straightforward conditions beautifully.
The direct benefit being simplicity and speed.
For divers who value ease of use and portability, correct?
Exactly right, Jack. The simplicity makes them an excellent choice for beginners or divers who prefer minimalist equipment.
Fascinating. I'm learning so much. My gills might filter out some important details, but our viewers are surely soaking this up. What about the other side of this debate?
Now let's switch to reels, which offer some different advantages.
Reels, the sophisticated cousin in the surface marker family. What makes these gadgets worth their weight in coral?
First, controlled line release and retrieval. Reels have mechanisms allowing precise control when deploying or retrieving line. This becomes crucial in strong currents or when maintaining specific depths.
So you're not yanked around underwater when that current kicks in.
It functions much the same way as a high-quality fishing reel, with a drag system, giving you that precise control when you need it most.
What else makes these devices special?
Second, greater line capacity. Reels typically hold significantly more line than spools, making them appropriate for deeper dives or when deploying an SMB from considerable depths.
More line means more options. That's comparable to a long extension cord on a retractable reel, reaching those distant places without running short. But I'm guessing there's a trade-off?
Indeed. The third point is more complex operation. Reels require practice to master the release and retrieval mechanisms. They aren't as immediately intuitive as spools.
So there's a learning curve before you become a real maestro.
Similar to mastering a complex camera with multiple settings, intimidating at first, but rewarding once you've got it down.
When should divers reach for these instead of spools?
That brings us to suitable environments. My fourth point. Reels shine in strong currents where controlled line management is essential. They're ideal for deep dives needing extra line capacity, complex drift dives with changing currents, and low visibility situations requiring precise ascents.
So they're the heavy-duty option for when diving conditions throw a challenge your way.
They function similarly to a professional climbing rope system on a steep cliff, providing that crucial safety margin when things get intense.
The direct benefit being precision and control for divers prioritizing safety in demanding environments.
That's right. Reels offer versatility for more advanced diving scenarios where that extra control becomes a safety feature, not just a convenience.
Wonderful explanation. Our viewers' brains must be swimming with all this information. Before we let our viewers swim away, Regis, could you give us your final verdict on this spool versus reel showdown?
Grab a spool when you want simplicity and quick deployment in calm waters. Go for a reel when facing challenging environments where control and versatility become your best friends underwater.
Brilliant advice that won't sink to the bottom. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us today, Regis. You've made equipment decisions crystal clear compared to most dive briefings. That concludes our show for today, fellow water enthusiasts. Sorry if any of my jokes fell flat. Turns out comedy is harder underwater, where nobody can hear you laugh. Next week, we'll tackle the controversial topic: flounders, nature's doormats, or misunderstood masters of camouflage. Dive safely until we meet again. Remember to check your gauges more often than you check your social media, and keep those fins kicking toward adventure.
Forget all the troubles and blues. Dive into the blue. Oh yes, talk to the fish.